I'm never gonna be ready to review this movie, so let's talk about Gone Girl. Gone Girl is David Fincher's latest movie, and it's based on a very popular book, and it stars Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike, and they're a married couple, and one day Rosamund Pike goes missing, and the story basically revolves around them trying to figure out who did it and where she is, and Ben Affleck gets put under a lot of media scrutiny. So that's basically the movie, and going into this movie I was super excited because I love David Fincher, he's my favorite director, and just the trailers looked really good, and I liked the cast around it. I thought the story was interesting. I thought it would be an all-around great movie. And coming out of this movie, I liked Gone Girl. I liked it. Let's start with the acting in this movie, because the acting is one of the best parts of this entire movie. Ben Affleck does a great job in this movie. He's mostly the main character. Rosamund Pike has a much larger part than I thought she would, so they're kind of both the stars of the movie, but Ben Affleck did a really good job in this movie, and David Fincher was even said, I read it somewhere, that he cast Ben Affleck in this movie because Ben Affleck has dealt with media scrutiny before, and that's what this entire character is all about, so I thought that was a great casting, and he did a really good job with that. And Rosamund Pike, who I've thought of as a decent actress from the movies I've seen her in, does such a fantastic job in this movie that I think you'll definitely hear her name around awards season, which is basically coming up now. But when they actually talk about the Oscars, I think she's going to be in contention, whether it be supporting actress or best actress. I'm not sure which category you'd put her in. She took a really different turn than I thought she would with her character, because you get to see a lot of the flashbacks between her and Ben Affleck, you know, when they first started dating and everything. So from there on, that was really interesting. I didn't expect a lot of what I saw from her in this movie. Also in this movie was Tyler Perry, who when I saw him in the trailers, I wasn't necessarily skeptical, but I was like, I don't know about that choice, because it's Tyler Perry, but he's done a good job in some movies before, so I was hopeful, and he did a great job in this movie too. Honestly, he was really good. Like, he plays a lawyer, and he plays that part really well. It's not that big of a role. Neil Patrick Harris is also in the movie. I thought he did a good job too, and oh yeah, and Nora from The Leftovers, I really should learn her name by now. She plays Ben Affleck's sister, and she did such a great job too, because she is with him throughout a lot of this media scrutiny that he goes under, and she learns things about him that she didn't know, and it was really interesting to watch them together and just talking, really. And that's what a lot of this movie is. Most of this movie is just talking, and David Fincher does such a great job at making really slow movies still seem really intense and make every single conversation seem important. That's also a credit to the writing, and I know the writer of the book who wrote this also wrote the screenplay, and I haven't read the book. I actually do plan to read it, but I'm sure it was adapted really well. Like with most David Fincher movies, this movie takes some very dark and twisted turns, and I really like that about him. That's why he's one of my favorite directors, and just everything about this movie was really directed so well, because like the cinematography, for example, like the opening shots in this movie when they're going through the credits, it's just so beautiful looking, and just basically all of his movies look great. The way certain reveals and twists were handled was really well done, because it just like hit me in the face, like I had no idea it was coming, and it was really well done, and there are certain really disturbing scenes that are also really shot well. I keep saying really, I don't know why. I was thinking about it, and I'm going to give this movie a B rating, and I was thinking about it on the way home. Like, why are you going to give it a B? You love the acting, the direction was great, cinematography was great, the writing was really well done too. It's just like everything in this movie really came together, right? And then I was thinking about it. I don't know why it took me so long to realize, but it's the fact that the story takes some twists and turns, and I didn't like all of them. It comes right down to the fact that I didn't like the way the story went sometimes, and especially the ending. I don't know if the ending was kept the same as the book. I know I read somewhere that it was going to be changed, and then I read no, it's the same, so I don't know if it's the same or not, but I didn't like the ending to this movie. I get why it was done. I completely understand the message they were trying to send. I just didn't like it. It was just not a satisfying conclusion to this movie for me. So that's why, basically. And there are also certain points in the movie where I thought it started to drag a little bit, and I started to lose interest just a little bit. It didn't take long for me to get back into the movie, but there were just certain little points where I just lost interest for a few minutes, and that does not happen with David Fincher movies, but it happened this time, so I have to note that too. Overall, Gone Girl is an impeccably made movie. It has great acting, great direction, the writing is awesome. I loved all those parts of the movie. I just didn't like the way the story went. So for that reason, I'm going to give Gone Girl a B. So what do you guys think of Gone Girl? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Did you like the book better? Where does this rank on your David Fincher movies list? This ranks on the lower section for me. That's not to say it's a bad movie. It's just he's made so many great movies that having one that's just good to me is gonna put it on the lower part of the list. Write your beautiful comments down there and tell me what you think, and if you like this video, hit that subscribe button down there, because if you don't, I'll go missing, and then no one will care.